Today on the channel, top 10 G.I. Joe Classified Series figures of 2020. Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I got my best Kenny Rogers Western wear shirt on. You know me and the Gambler, we share the same wardrobe and the same tailor. And there's a reason for this, just like my other videos. Today, we are going to count down the top 10 G.I. Joe Classified Series figures of 2020 with one honorable mention. For those guys and you guys that have followed the channel for a long time, you guys know my love of G.I. Joe. You knew how excited I was for this line, and I'm so happy to do a top 10 list in the first true year of the G.I. Joe Classified Series. I hope next year we have so many figures, I won't even know how to comprehend a top 10 list, but we'll see where that goes in 2021. But 2020 brought us the highs and the lows of G.I. Joe. We saw no Joes as we were hunting the Cobra Island figures at Target, the hardest to get exclusives of the year by far, no argument there. We saw also Roadblock, our old favorite, at every store. We also had different figures from exclusives and Hasbro Pulse exclusives, deluxe exclusives, you name it. But it was quite the first year of G.I. Joe. Some stumbles along the way, I think, distribution-wise, definitely, especially with the exclusives. Maybe some overproduced, a few different characters, and then some interesting exclusives. So it was really an up and down year as the G.I. Joe line tries to find their footing. I hope they've put it together, and 2021 is starting strong already. We know we got the Viper and the Firefly Cobra Island exclusives. We have Zartan coming. And then the ones I'm most excited about, tentatively scheduled for a June release. I gotta think it'll be sooner than that. My all-time favorite superhero, G.I. Joe, whatever you want to call him, and that's Flint. I cannot wait for Flint in June. And then Lady J as well, my favorite female G.I. Joe character. So a lot to look forward to for G.I. Joe in 2021. But today we're going to talk about 2020. And for all your G.I. Joe classified needs, hit up Big Bad Toy Store. Link in the description below. Alright guys, well let's start it off. Let's start it off with an honorable mention. I gotta mention this guy. I was looking who just cracked the top 10, and it's one of our old friends. We seem to visit him about every single week, somewhere along the line. Most of my targets, he just hangs out, and it's like visiting your grandma in the nursing home. I've probably said too much, you longtime viewers of the channel, you already know, but it's our boy. It is G.I. Joe #1, Roadblock, a favorite of the Joes, a favorite of mine, and a guy I love to visit at every Target and Walmart in my local area, as he is unfortunately the peg warmer of the bunch. But we all love Roadblock. 2021, we're getting this one updated without the gold, a little variant. I guess they're fixing their perceived problems they had with this one. So we'll see. We'll see if Roadblock will be there all into 2021 for us. On the pegs. I have a feeling that's probably going to be the case because people that wanted him already got him, and he's still peg warming, and then you put another one out there that looks just like this. That's not a very good mix. That's a mix for the clearance bin. But I still like this Roadblock figure. I feel it is very underrated, as much as we joke around about it. It didn't make my top 10 list, but definitely an honorable mention in 2020. But without getting done with Roadblock here, let's get into it. Let's get into the true top 10 G.I. Joe Classified Series figures of 2020. All right, let's begin. Let's count it down. Let's start with number 10. And number 10 is one that I think a lot of people might have higher in the list. I should say at the beginning here, this is my personal top 10. Everybody's personal top 10 will be a little different. Please, in the comments below, give me your top 10. But the key is, you got to give them in an order. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes it hard to do, really, if you get down to it. It's hard to put things in order, but try to do that down in the comments. And while you're there in the comments, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We've unboxed every single one of these G.I. Joe figures in 2020. We'll be unboxing every single one in 2021. This is my favorite line. I absolutely love G.I. Joe going way back, so a lot of G.I. Joe content to come on the channel. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you subscribe and hit that old notification bell. All right, at number 10, like I said, a very popular, maybe the most popular G.I. Joe character. He was number 2 in the series, and that is old Snake Eyes, the man in black himself. Truth be told, never a huge Snake Eye fan. I know a lot of kids love Snake Eyes. I was always a Flint, Duke guy, Lieutenant Falcon. I was a sucker for a guy in a beret, apparently. But really loved the Joes. Snake Eyes, I respected Snake Eyes. I like Snake Eyes. If I'm in an alley fight, I want Snake Eyes to have my back. But just not my favorite character, all in all, when you add everybody together. But there's no denying this is a cool figure. We did have some loose ab crunch on him, and that seemed to be a problem for a lot of collectors out there. Also, his knife did not go all the way in to his side knife holder. Looking past that, just the cool blackness of him, the darkness of him, and just cool to have a 6-inch scaled Snake Eyes figure. That's why he's on my list at number 10. I chose this one over the deluxe version, which was maybe crazy or sacrilegious to some of you out there, but I did prefer the looks and the aesthetics of this one. The other one had a lot of better packaging and better accessories, but as a figure itself, I did prefer this Snake Eyes over that one. So there it is, number 10, and that is our man, Snake Eyes. All right, number 9 was a really interesting choice, and this is part of the ups and downs with the exclusives and the pick and the character mixes we saw with the G.I. Joe line. I really hope they get off their stumbles and really put their head down and get to work and give the fans truly what they want. Number 9 is a solid figure, but it's not the one we wanted. Without further ado, at number 9, Amazon exclusive Storm Shadow. Hopefully you guys got this one out there. There was issues getting him, like a lot of exclusives. I did get 2 of them. I got them in mint condition. I was very happy about that. I got 1 to open, 1 for in the box, as all G.I. Joes I do. But very happy to get Storm Shadow in the line. But it's really interesting they would go with this version of Storm Shadow for the first representation. This is the good guy Storm Shadow, as I always called him as a kid, the Arctic Ninja Force version of Storm Shadow. Very, very strange they went with this one before the other one. I get being an Amazon exclusive, I would not give the traditional Storm Shadow, so I'm okay with this. But I would have loved to have seen maybe a different Duke or something like that. If you're going to go for a repaint for an Amazon exclusive, go with somebody we've already had. Don't go with Storm Shadow in his first figure being in the line as an Amazon exclusive, and also a deep cut Storm Shadow for those out there that, you know, consider this a deep cut, which I think everybody would. A very cool figure. I like it a lot, but it just seems weird to get this version as our first representation of Storm Shadow in the G.I. Joe Classified line. I have to believe in 2021 with the G.I. Joe Snake Eyes movie coming out, we're probably going to get an updated Snake Eyes, maybe one more akin to the one we've been wanting, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. 2021, I think there's going to be a lot of G.I. Joe surprises, and I hope Storm Shadow is a part of those surprises. But as we sit in 2020, number 9, the Storm Shadow Amazon exclusive. All right, we've reached the number 8 point on the G.I. Joe Classified Series Top 10 Figures of 2020. Number 8 is one that people had a mixed bag review on. I absolutely love this figure from the word go. A lot of people had problems with it. A lot of people had problems with some of the color patterns on this figure, but I did not. I like this figure a lot, and that is at number 8. We're talking about Duke. One of the leaders of the Joe team, one of the most iconic Joe characters ever. I can't imagine having a Series 1 of G.I. Joe without Duke. It's just something that I would never do. Snake Eyes in the same boat. Kind of strange we didn't get Cobra Commander, but we got Destro, so I guess that's okay. But I really like this Duke. I love the updated, it's just a modern version of Duke. This is what I think of if you said, hey, make a modern version of Duke. They nailed this. They nailed the current hairstyle. I think that is a really cool concept. They made the scar on his head. Very, very cool. I love the weapons Duke came with. I love the color patterns, just a little bit different than your traditional. But this is a perfect update, a perfect modern update of Duke. A very, very solid figure, and very happy to get this one in the lineup. This was the number 4 figure as far as in the line, number 4 in Series 1. So very cool, very Duke. Got to have a Duke in your collection. I don't know how you can have a G.I. Joe set without Duke, and he definitely deserves his number 8 spot on my list. All right, we've reached number 7 on the countdown of the top 10 G.I. Joe Classifieds of 2020, and I talked about weird exclusives, weird distribution problems, and this one fits right in there. We're talking at number 7, we're talking about Destro. Not just any Destro, Prophet Director Destro. Very well known as Pimp Daddy Destro for the years of longtime G.I. Joe fans. We got this as a Comic-Con exclusive way back in the 25th anniversary line. I believe we even got one before that as another exclusive. So the exclusives continue with this one. This is the kind of exclusive I like. This is a fan channel exclusive, and we talk about that a lot on the channel. Fan channel being your GameStops, your hobby shops, your comic book stores, places like that. I think Toys R Us in Canada has this, but you're just basically not going to find this at your Target and Walmarts. And for those kind of figures that are harder to get, this works out perfectly, because this is a Destro. It's not for everybody. It's not a must-have version of Destro. If this was a traditional Destro, people would be up in arms. But I love this Destro. I've always loved the idea. I love the accessories with him, with the money in the briefcase, the money on fire. I mean, just an amazing accessories with this one. I love the gold plating instead of the silver, the cheetah type kind of cape type deal he's got. Just a really, really cool figure. A very deep cut, and another one that's very strange they would go this way. So early, so soon in the line. I feel like there's maybe some guys that you could have got in before or different, but it is what it is. I do really like this figure. I do think it's a very, very underrated figure. But for me, it's the number 7 one on my top 10 of 2020. All right, we've come to the number 6 spot, and I'm feeling a little bit of deja vu. But the reason for that is the traditional version of Destro comes in at number 6. Absolutely love this figure. This is a solid figure, a beautiful rendition of a throwback of the original Destro. Great briefcase, great weapon. Just a total callback to the 80s 3 3/4 Destro figure. One of the most iconic figures in the Joe lineup back in the day, and so far one of the most iconic ones in the current 2020 lineup. I'll never forget as a kid, one day in my summer vacation playing outside in the yard, I had a big hole dug and Destro fell in and ended up getting buried, and I had to go in and eat lunch. I came back out, and guess what? I never found that Destro. He is still lost in that yard. Haven't lived in that house for about 30 years, but I always think about getting the lamp on my head and going out there with a shovel in the middle of the night and seeing if I can dig up that Destro figure, because he's still got to be there. I'm sure he's still there. But so I lost that Destro, and then my next Destro was the Iron Grenadiers version, and that was my Destro in my playing days, because I only had this one for a short time as a kid. But this one, very happy, very iconic. It's the silver chrome dome one. Iconic outfit, iconic weapons. It's just everything you would want in a 6-inch scale, modernized version of Destro. An extremely solid piece and well deserving of the number 6 hole in my top 10 countdown of 2020. All right, we've hit the halfway point. Have we had your favorites on the list so far? You tell me in the comments. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we got G.I. Joe unboxings, Marvel unboxings, wrestling, you name it, NECA Turtles. Go on and on for days, but make sure you're subscribed to the channel. But now we're at the halfway point, number 5, and number 5 is no stranger to this line. We've had a lot of different versions, and this is another character we've had a lot of different exclusives to. Without further ado, it's the leader of Cobra. We're talking about Cobra Commander, and for the number 5 spot, I am putting the Regal Edition. The Hasbro Pulse exclusive that was originally a network app exclusive, then the rug was pulled under us, and oh wait, no, we're just giving you the regular one, and thankfully Hasbro Pulse picked this one up for us, and that's where it went. And I just received this in the last couple of weeks. It's a nice Christmas time surprise, as I really do like this one. This is more the traditional colors of Cobra Commander, where the other one was a little darker blue. Still a great figure, but I think in the royal blue, the Cobra Commander blue, it takes it to the next level, and that's why this one landed at the number 5 spot for me. Just love everything about this figure. It's not quite the old school Cobra Commander, but boy, it's pretty close, and really like the looks of this one all around. And like I said, Hasbro Pulse was the exclusive provider of this one. I'm not sure if you can still get it out there or not, but definitely worth tracking down if you possibly can, and that's why it is on my top 10 list at number 5. All right, we've reached number 4, and number 4 is our first trip to Cobra Island. As you guys know, Cobra Island Target exclusive G.I. Joe figures in 2020, and it looks to continue in 2021 with the Cobra Viper and Firefly coming out just shortly from me posting this video. But number 4 spot for me is one of the heavy hitters, and I'm shocked that it was an exclusive to Target, and then even more shocked how hard this figure ended up being, and that is the Baroness. One of the all-time iconic villains from G.I. Joe canon, probably the most famous G.I. Joe villain that's a female, and she did come with the first G.I. Joe vehicle we've received in the G.I. Joe classified line so far, the Coil motorcycle. A real crazy figure. This one was hard to get from the get-go. The other figures were out. This one had not been seen and is rarely seen since. I just don't understand the whole Cobra Island fiasco it was with the exclusives. How they did not make more of these. How they, the demand was beyond comprehension. And I just can't believe the limited quantities we got on these. And this Baroness figure is awesome. An extra head for the motorcycle head. Obviously the vehicle, but just traditional Baroness. The head sculpt on this one is one of the best females of all lines in 2020. I love the glasses, how you can see your eyes through the glasses. Just 100% slam dunk on this figure. Absolutely love it. Absolutely a must-have. But by the sounds of the thing, and the rumor mill is churning, so I gotta think there's some truth to the rumors. I believe she is going to be packed on a single carded figure here in 2021. Somewhat of a re-release, if you want to call it that. I hope there's a little bit of difference just for the hardcore collectors out there. But I know a lot of people missed out on this, and everybody needs a Baroness in their G.I. Joe collection. There's no argument there from me. So I'm glad we're going to get a re-release, but I'd love to see it in like the blue costume or something different. But I'm pretty sure we'll get one in the traditional black. But a solid figure. Hopefully you guys found this in 2020. But I think you'll get another opportunity in 2021. So at number 4 for me, that is the Baroness with the Coil Cycle from the Cobra Island Target exclusive set. All right, we're right down to the end. We're at the number 3 spot, and we're going to continue. We didn't get a lift ticket out of Cobra Island. We're going to stay there, and we're going to stay there with one of my all-time favorites, and that is Beachhead. One of the G.I. Joe leaders tried to sneak into the Flint spot in the later seasons of G.I. Joe. Didn't quite work for me, but I still loved Beachhead. But second in command, really, Flint is first in command, if you ask me. He is the true leader of G.I. Joe. He just doesn't act like it in all the episodes. But Flint's the true leader. But another top leader of the G.I. Joe unit is Beachhead. Another strong figure. Came in the Cobra Island set. Very hard to get. A lot of people still looking for this one. No rumors of a re-release at this point, but I think we will get more of a traditional Beachhead down the line. Fingers crossed, at least. I want to think there will be a retro wave at some point. But love this Beachhead figure. I love the beret they gave him that's removable. The weapons are okay. That's probably the weakest spot of these, but it's Beachhead. I look at this, I say, oh my gosh, that's Beachhead. And you can always do repaints off this Beachhead too, which is really cool. You can make a Firefly out of him, I'm sure they will. Also, the SWAT team member, what was it, Shockwave back in the day, you can make him out of here. There's a lot of ways you could go with this Beachhead figure as far as retooling and re-releasing and stuff like that. But a very, very solid figure and definitely deserve it at the top spots, coming in at number 3. All right, we've come down to the number 2 spot, and no matter how hard we try, we cannot get off Cobra Island. We seem to be stuck there. The best exclusives of the year, and also the hardest to find exclusives of the year, I should say, were these Cobra Island Target exclusives. And the one that set the G.I. Joe world ablaze this year, the one that made a lot of people just give up on G.I. Joe and said, you know what, I'm quitting my collection. I've had enough. I don't want anything to do with it. It's just too hard for me. It's crazy. I've never seen a line where people are so hyped for it, and then distribution issues, scarcity, rarity has turned people off so quick, and that's what we're kind of seeing. So we got to win those G.I. Joe fans back in 2021. I hope Hasbro does. Hopefully they listen to the criticism. But the one that started G.I. Joe Cobra Island Mania and never let go and still commands probably the highest price of any figure on this list as of right now, that is the Cobra Trooper. Target exclusive, like I said, from the Cobra Island. An amazing figure. Cobra Trooper. Army building is a thing in the G.I. Joe line, the G.I. Joe world. There's so many troopers, Vipers, Crimson Guards, you name it. We need multiples of them. I got 4 of these myself. I was very lucky to find a case out in the wild. But not a lot of people did. I found it right away when it first came out. Didn't think anything of it. And then it was nothing after that. And a lot of people missed this. A lot of people never saw this. And that's the way a lot of the Cobra Island went. But for them to make a Cobra Trooper so limited, knowing people are going to army build, it just makes you really concerned about the upcoming Cobra Viper at Target. Because I know me, I need 4 of those things. Hopefully I can track them down. I feel like I'll be able to make it, but it just makes you worried knowing what happened with this Cobra Trooper, and it's going to make people crazy in 2021. But an amazing figure, and like some of these other ones we're probably going to see in the future, this has been announced as getting a re-release, so that makes some people happy. But there is completists out there that need this actual one with the box and the Cobra Island graphics, all that stuff, so I totally get that. The upcoming one just has a few slight changes, no armband and a few other things to make it just a little bit different, but also pretty much the same. But really, probably the hardest to find exclusive as far as 2020 went, and the number 2 figure on my G.I. Joe top 10 of 2020 list. Alright guys, we're down to the end. We are at the number 1 G.I. Joe classified series of 2020. The number 1 figure as chosen by me. You guys give me your top 10 list in the comments. Let me know who your favorite one is, but this one was far and away my favorite. I knew at the minute I had it in hand that there was no top in this one. I would also call this one the exclusive of 2020. Not only one of the best figures of the year, if not the best, the number 1 exclusive figure of 2020. And I think a lot of you G.I. Joe collectors probably know where I'm going with this one, but it is the Hasbro Pulse Hasbro Con exclusive. No stranger to this top 10 list. It is G.I. Joe's Cobra Commander, Snake Supreme Cobra Commander. An amazing package that opens up in the middle. I did the unboxing on the channel. Go back, look that up. Just an amazing figure. Talk about bowling you over. Just next level. They did next level with this thing. I brought the loose one here. The cape, the colors, the scepter, the globe for his hand. This is the Cobra Commander I have dreamed about for so long. You know, we got that old Cobra Commander in the TV show, the cartoon. We never got a figure of it, but he had his black cape and his scepter and stuff. It's a reimagining of that. Absolutely in love with this figure. I have another one on the way. As a lot of you guys know, people that pre-ordered day 1 got theirs fairly quickly. The next day you could order another one, and that's what I did, and that's not coming till March. So I gotta wait for my one that I'll have on the card in the box. I could not wait to open this thing up. I had to open it day 1. I'm just such a G.I. Joe nut, and this Cobra Supreme Cobra Commander, just next level. Like I said, packaging of the year, exclusive figure of the year, and maybe most likely the figure of the year for all action figures. Just a total slam dunk. I hope we see more things like this out of Hasbro and exclusives. I would love to see a Cobra Law box set somewhere along these lines, do something like this. There's so many roads they could go down. A Dreadnoks. I'd love to see a Cold Slither box set. There's so many cool things they could do with the G.I. Joe line as far as cool boxed exclusive figures, and I cannot wait to see what 2021 brings us in the G.I. Joe line. So there it is, Cobra Commander, Hasbro Con exclusive, Snake Supreme Cobra Commander, number 1 on my top 10 G.I. Joe figures of 2020. We'll see what 2021 brings for the G.I. Joe line, and we'll do this all again next year. So that's all I have. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to leave me your comments on your top 10 list. I want to hear who your top 10 G.I. Joe figures were of 2020. And who are you hoping to see in 2021? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell, all that fun stuff. I tell you what, 2021 we'll be unboxing every single G.I. Joe figure that is made. I can guarantee you that. There's not going to be a release that I'm going to miss. I am all 100% in on this line. I got all kinds of other videos, though, as well. Not just G.I. Joe. We'll be looking at Star Wars. We'll be looking at Thundercats, He-Man, AEW, WWE, Marvel Legends, Marvel Select. The list goes on, so you want to make sure you're subscribed. Share the video, too. Feel free to share it around different groups and stuff you think might be interested. And for Cobra Commander and the whole G.I. Joe crew, the top 10 2020 G.I. Joe figures, it's a wrap. Moving on to 2021, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So for Cobra Commander, I'm Kyle. I will see you guys all real soon.